All right. Back like I never left. Let me know if y'all can hear me now. Y'all should be able to hear me. Testing. Nobody back on here now. Y'all must have ran off on me. You fuckers. Testing. Yo, you can hear me now? Y'all can hear me now? Good. Good. Y'all was starting to scare me for a second. I was like, damn, am I going crazy for real? I didn't know. Apparently it was something in the settings that changed. I had to fix it. Salute. What's up, y'all? Um, I'll go in by I'll start anyway by congratulating Dak Prescott on the way he played. Like I said, I wanted to go over a few of the things that I took away from the game. Dak's play has definitely reached a new level. You know, he's jumped in a lot of areas. He's done a lot of things that I for one, didn't think he would be capable of this early in his career. But they fired Brian Broaddus. Damn, why? He must he must have been missing shit in the film room, man. They need to hire your boy. I'll be fine with it. I'll take his job. It's like no. Shout out to Brian Broaddus. You did a lot for the Cowboy Nation. I won't hate on you. Yeah. Don't laugh at my smoothie either. That's my dinner. I mean my lunch. Anyway, Dak Prescott balled out, man. Can't really say enough about that. I think that we've been waiting for Dak to put together, consistent performances like this for a while now. And last year I was coming at him for the fact that he didn't even have 300-yard games like that. He had like two against bum teams last year. This year he's had three 400-yard games. So it's just night and day. Make sure y'all hitting that like button if y'all in here too, for those of you who are on. But it's just night and day for the way that Dak has come up and played. And now I'm happy about that. That's the good news. These receivers are stepping up. Gallup, you can see him growing right before your eyes. Coop is injured, but he keeps kind of fighting through it and doing his thing. So I respect, I respect that. Beyond that, I think that Cobb has really come in and shown us a different level of I guess, tenacity at the receiver position that I think was missing when Dez kind of left the team. Like I like the way Cobb goes after it. Like Cobb is real physical, real aggressive, and I think he makes everybody else kind of step up and want to be more pressing and aggressive as well. So, like I said, shout out to Cobb too. But the thing that really stood out to me, I know it stood out to y'all because y'all I was watching on Twitter. A lot of you was talking about it, or whatever. But the thing that stood out to me was the defense, man. And I had just got finished doing Chidobe Awuzie's breakdown. For those of you who haven't seen it, definitely check that out. But I was looking to see if I saw the same consistencies or inconsistencies. I guess consistencies because of the way we're lining up in this game, and it is. We did it again. We do it every game, um, and you guys can look for it now. Like we kind of cascade our defense. Like we'll start off with Byron Jones at the left CB. He's playing press because he has a safety over his back, and he has inside help with the linebackers. And on top of that, he knows because he's pressing. He's allowed to press because the way we want it is so that quarterbacks can't throw to their left. They can't turn and throw to the left because by the time a quarterback lifts his foot up to turn on the left, you got Robert Quinn firing off the edge and you got Byron Jones who's disrupting that timing on that side anyway because he's the press side. So that's why Byron Jones, even though he's probably covering pretty good, but it's probably just as good. Ghost, calm down. Probably just as good as he's probably playing just as good as Cheeto, but Cheeto gets far more opportunities. I'm not trying to make excuses for Cheeto, but seriously, when you look at it, if my dog barks again, I got to get him out of here because he go crazy. But because when the mailman comes, he go crazy. But when you look at it, Cheeto looks as if he's getting beat left, right, and center, and he's not. He's not playing much man at all. Cheeto plays like deep to intermediate zone as like a safety on the right side of the field or left side of the field, depending on which side you're on, offense or defense. But on his side, that's what he's doing. Byron Jones is allowed to play man on that back end because he has help, and also his job is to disrupt the timing of that receiver on that side of the field to discourage quarterbacks from turning and throwing to that side. Because if we're stunting in front of you and you have to turn, you're not throwing hot that way because we're pressing over there. So the hot routes are coming front side. We know exactly where the ball is going almost on every play or most plays, because if you're not waiting deep for those deep crossing routes to develop, if you don't have the time to wait for those deep posts and out routes and drag routes, then you have to throw high. And if you're throwing high, you're throwing to your running back in the flats on either side, which is where we get beat for big plays, or you're throwing it right underneath Cheeto and letting him chase and tackle because that's what he's good at. So I noticed that in the film, and then I noticed that that's how our defense is designed, which is why we don't get interceptions. You can't get interceptions if everybody's playing off and you're playing high pressure up front. You're not getting sacks either. So I think the fact that we play soft coverage is not only hurting our interception count, but it's also hurting our sack count because one hand washes the other. If the quarterback has to hold the ball longer because he doesn't have a quick read to go to every time, like to rely on like that, then he has to hold the ball longer. If he has to hold the ball longer, then your rush has time to get there. If your rush gets there and disrupts him, he throws balls into arid or bad fronts or bad looks. Therefore, you get interceptions and sacks out of that. When you watch us play, watch us blitz, even when we're blitzing, it's easy to figure out where to go with the ball. Like, you always have a place to go because we set this defense up so that we keep everything in front of us, which is why we don't give up many touchdowns. So but I'm not saying like or dislike this. You guys can take it, run with it. You can take it and hate it, but it's the truth. Number one. Number two, I'm just trying to paint the picture as to what's actually happening so we can stop saying this defense is this or that. Like, this is exactly why we don't get turnovers. It's no bullshit. And I'm going to break a film down for that too. But the reason we don't get turnovers is you have everyone playing, other than Byron Jones, playing off everything, off the run and off coverage. Our linebackers, they don't crowd the line ever. They stay 5 yards off the ball unless they're blitzing. When they're blitzing, guess where they're at? On the line. That's fucking dumb. But not coming at Chris Richard trying to disrespect you or nothing. But I'm just saying, man, that doesn't make any sense. Like, we real basic when it comes to the way we line up. And I'm serious. Like, every play is the same cascade. It's like a graph. Byron Jones tight, everyone else is going up. Like, by the time you get to Cheeto's like 15 yards off the ball. Our linebackers the same way. Except for our safety will be in the box, strong side or front side where Cheeto is. So Cheeto knows every play. He's not getting no help. So Cheeto has to play off. He has no choice but to play off. But when he's playing off, where's the quarterback going with the ball every time? If a quarterback feels like he's going to get pressure, he's going right front side. So that's why Cheeto looks like he's getting beat, because automatically, if you're giving up 50, if you're off the ball by 15 yards, the quarterback is going to throw that pass, and you're going to have to crash down and hit him. And that's what Cheeto does. If somebody gets up above him, and man, he's given up one touchdown for 92 yards to Robbie Anderson. I think I talked about this in another video. Other than the touchdown to Robbie Anderson, he's given up one other touchdown. That was to Lattimore. So he's been playing solid, and so has Byron. I'm not coming at the talent of our players, because I really think if we just change that, all of them will start playing better. And I don't mean press everyone. I mean coordinate or alternate who's getting pressed and when, to force quarterbacks into hot reads of our choosing. We force them to throw hot to the front side, whether it's the tight end over there in the flat, running back in the flat, or underneath route, whether it's a slant, button hook, whatever, to the right. So if you look at it, I guarantee, and I don't need to look at the statistics for where quarterbacks throw, because just watching the film, I see where they go with the ball. They go front side every time because they don't, unless they have pressure in their face. They don't have time to lift that foot up and turn and go left. So Byron doesn't get any action because of the way our defense is set up. No quarterbacks have time to turn. Most of them don't have time to turn and wait for a route to develop when Byron's already been disruptive from the jump. He's hands-on from the rip. So you don't have time to get over there. And then you also have linebackers running underneath him and a safety on that hash on his side of the field, watching short, intermediate, and deep. So what do you go? You're not throwing the ball over there. It's not just Byron. It's like, that's the way our defense is designed, to force all the action to the right, whether it's running or throwing. When it's running, our linebackers always are shifted to Robert Quinn's side of the field. They're always over there, all of them. And our Sam is more so playing like in that nickel pool. We really run nickel all day. We just run it one with a linebacker out on the edge, one with an actual nickel corner in there. It's the same front all day. We run that. We run the same look almost the entire game. And sometimes we go do a soft cover two. Even when we're doing cover two, we'll run cover two and have our corners playing off. So you're forcing the ball. You have nothing but drag routes and comeback routes and out routes in the flats that are always going to be open because of the way we run cover two and the way we run our cover three. There is no press man, and that's the difference between the Legion of Boom and now. Is there was a lot more press, and they were a lot more aggressive. And I don't know if that was Chris Richard's doing, or if it was whoever the head coach is. I forget his name all the time. I don't know why, but I don't know whose doing it was. But the Seahawks are just more aggressive in their scheme and the way they approach it than we are, and they have been. And shit, man, that's just I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Pete Carroll, yeah, you're right. Let me look and see what some of you guys are saying. What up? What up? Yeah, I'm gonna break it down. Don't even worry about that. I'm gonna break it down. Rugelot, what's good? Yeah, man, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I feel like there's just so much more we can do defensively because I can see it now. Like now that I've really been looking for what's. I don't want to start a Chris Richard witch hunt because it's not. That's not why I'm looking at the film. It's more so like just as a fan, like what's wrong with the defense? Because I do like Chris Richard. You have to speak for the stats that we've been putting up. Um, guys, hit that like button if you guys are in here and you haven't done it. But yeah, you gotta respect the stats that he's putting up or that teams haven't been putting up against us. So I say that, and I really stand on that. Like Chris Richard has been doing a good job, but I think at times we play very soft, and it's not explainable. Like it's not explainable why we're not challenging the receivers at the line of scrimmage. It doesn't make any sense to me when we have. That's the reason I thought he wanted big corners, is so that you use that length to press and stay with your man. Even when you're beat in trail technique, you can use your length to recover. I thought that was the whole premise of wanting long guys so that you could play press man. And we don't see in a press coverage period. It doesn't have to be man, just press. We don't press at the line of scrimmage, and that doesn't make any sense. If you watch the Detroit game, even the highlights, if you look at my Twitter, I put some out there, some plays out there. If you just watch the play, just watch where we're lined up. We're never at the line of scrimmage. We never crowd the line of scrimmage. Even when it's the down and distance is short yardage, we're still off. Why the fuck are we playing off so much? Force quarterbacks to make those tight throws. All the throws that you say Cheeto gets beat. When Cheeto gets beat, it's by like inches. When Byron gets beat, it's by inches. I'd rather, if you're gonna beat me throwing balls in the tight windows all day, even Anthony Brown or Lewis, they all play pretty tight coverage. But if you're gonna beat me throwing in tight windows all day, and that's how you have to beat me with my pass rush, breathing down your back all day, so fucking be it. I'd rather lose that way than giving people guaranteed yardage for no reason, just because we have a good rallying, chase and tackle team. We do. Our linemen, it's like we try to sandwich you, and we know you're not going to go deep. So if this was deep, you're not throwing back there, and we know underneath our linemen are running around like crazy. So we send our linemen after the quarterback without telling them to worry about screen passes or anything. Say fuck a screen. I never see our defensive linemen assess a screen and be like, okay, let me abandon the rush and go handle that. They very rarely do. And that's why we keep getting beat on screens, because I think it's told to them, hey, get to the quarterback, fuck everything else, we got it. But we play off as a result of that. And when we play off, we keep everything in front of us because our defensive line will chase you from behind. So it's like a sandwich. Our defensive line will chase you from behind and we'll cascade from the top, and we're going to rally and tackle the ball. And we do that enough times, we'll have a good record. That makes sense. But that's bend but don't break, and it's very safe. Let's play it safe and let the offense decide and dictate what happens to us. We can force the action. I swear we can force the action. We don't even have to change a position. You could say, oh, let's sub LVE out because no, LVE just needs to be forcing the action. If the LVE was playing more like a Sam than a Will, he would be a lot more disruptive, because when he comes forward and crashes down and doesn't wait, he's disruptive in those plays. And when he in coverage, shout out to him on one play, he broke on the ball, and I was like, damn, he must have watched my video. He got mad at me. But and yeah, exactly. And stop arm tackling too. You can stop that. But at the end of the day, with the personnel that we have to put on the field right now, if we try to reroute some receivers, we'll have Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas will be in the slot, or any linebacker will be in the slot in certain formations when we get caught in 4-3 versus a 3 wide receiver look. And they'll line up in front of them as if they're going to cover them. Like, yo, get down there and just press them. Get him off of his route and make him run around you. Because we know you're not covering him anyway. We know you got help. So if you got help, get down there and press. Because if you miss, so the fuck what? He's right there to back you up. Whereas we'll just wait for it and let him catch the ball underneath us, and hey, we chase and tackle. And if we playing a guy like a Golden Tate or a guy that has like that quick twitch athleticism, they'll make a guy miss and then they're up the field. And that's where most of our big plays come from. We don't get beat very much. The ball traveling 20 plus yards in the air doesn't happen. And it's not because we can't get beat. It's because we play so far off, quarterbacks don't bother doing it. And they don't, because you're giving them everything they want underneath. That's why you have bum quarterbacks who can methodically go up the field on this. It fucks up their QBR because they only have you basically shrunk their playbook. So I get the philosophy behind it, because it does fuck. Like if you look at quarterbacks against us, most opposing quarterbacks don't kill us. We, like I said, we only gave up. I don't know if we gave up any in Detroit. Did we give up some in Detroit? I don't remember how motherfuckers scored in Detroit. To be honest with you, I done forgot. But I was smoking yesterday. Now, but on some real, leading up into this game, I know we only gave up 5 or 4 receiver touchdowns in the air, 9 total, 5 to tight ends, 4 to receivers coming into this game. So that tells it all. Like, quarterbacks are not killing us in the air, but at the same time, we can definitely be more aggressive and force turnovers by forcing quarterbacks to make decisions based on the looks we're giving them. We have to switch our looks up. We give quarterbacks the same thing. If you watch the film, you can literally say, okay, where's the ball going? I'm gonna try to draw a little diagram. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it or not, but you can see where the ball is gonna go based on how guys are lined up. I think this is gonna be backwards. If this was Byron Jones, this is Cheeto on every fucking play. Byron Jones will be pressed up on the line. You got linebackers here stopping anything that's going short or intermediate. You usually have a safety either in the box all the way or right around here. And then you have a safety over the hash. Cheeto knows he got no help in this third of the field, so he stays off. And everybody throws their hot routes right here. If you don't see anything quick here, you're throwing hot there every time, either right under Cheeto, or you're going to let a wide receiver engage him and throw to the running back in the flat, or flood the flat with a tight end or a running back every time. And that's what happened to us every time. That's why all the passes go to Cheeto's side. So, like, I know that was like, it's not as good as a breakdown. I'll show you in a video, but it's true. Like, that's how we line up almost every play, unless we're running cover 2 or unless we're doing an obvious blitz, like where it's like, okay, it's not a surprise though. And then we'll blitz from, like, if you're playing off, why are you blitzing your guys from 5 yards off the ball? You're not trying to get there, because you're not going to get there from back there, right? So they had blitzed Jordan Lewis. They did it a couple times with Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown. You blitzing the Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis from 5 yards off the ball where our linebackers are. They're not going to get there from the perimeter from all the way out there. They're not. They're going what that blitz is designed to do, which is understandable if you're not playing man. If you're playing man, then that playing off and blitzing from that far away doesn't make any sense. If you're playing zone, it makes sense because you're not blitzing to get there. You're blitzing to force the quarterback into an opportune throw, because you might be unbalanced on one side and you don't want him to get time to look to his right. So you blitz from far away and you force him to throw either into the blitz, which you hope he doesn't do, or throw into your zone, which is probably front side or whatever side you choose to on that particular formation on that particular play. That makes sense. But if we play off man and we'll blitz from there from far away, that don't make no goddamn sense. I don't care what Richard's records are. That don't make sense. And we do that all the time. And you got receivers that, run all over the place. That dude 17 on that play, the play where number 17 ran all the way across the field, he made one play and then he got the fuck out the game, right? That one play, that deep crossing route or deep drag route, if someone would have just pushed him in the beginning of the play, because I think it was Anthony Brown or whoever was on him when he caught it, he almost got there. They almost got there. So if they almost got there and he had free range to run full speed from the beginning of the play, what would have happened if you just touched him at the line of scrimmage? That's the time you need to be able to get into position to be there when the ball arrives. That's the difference between almost a barely caught pass, and a breakup. Break up their rhythm at the line, and you will break up the route, which will break up the timing, which creates time for your line to do what it's supposed to do. I know I'm supposed to go into other topics, but I had to say what I had to say on that because the defense is really getting the fuck on my nerves on some real shit. Because we don't gotta we have the talent to play any form of defense we want. Like seriously, we got guys all you guys that say we're not big enough in the middle, we're not big enough behind our starters. No. So if you want to say, hey, start Collins and use Woods to back him up, and then use other guys in between. That way, we always keep one of those two guys on the field. I would agree with that because when both of them get out and you got Kerry Hyder and Bennett and those guys in it, that is a small lineup. I get that, but crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. Now let's dig into a few players too. I'm sticking on defense for right this second, and then I want to get into this whole Zeke conversation because I still keep getting people saying, "Oh yeah, you're cherry picking," or Zeke is still trash, or whatever you want to say. I'm going to kill that noise real quick. It's done. The myth is busted. Because if you still argue it after this, then something is really wrong. Because you're not. Google is free. Or is it free? I don't know. You guys pay for Google? I don't. Free Google everywhere. Put it that way. So get online and search for the stats, man. That's all you got to do, man. Get online and search for the fucking stats. But before we get into Zeke, right? All right, we talked about Cheeto. We talked about the way the defense lines up. Um, Jalen and LVE, those guys, like in the beginning of the game, it's like they took the criticism, they came out fired up. I do appreciate the want to that they exhibited. But unless I don't know, unless I'm tripping, they still don't seem right. Jalen is more right than LVE is, but they still just don't seem right to me, man. It's like lipstick on a pig right now. And I say that with as much respect that can be had in that statement. But people think because I came out with the LVE video first that there's no juice for Jalen in that situation, or Lee at all, or anyone, right? No, there's room to go around there because the mere fact that um, teams who, and we do put our team in bad positions at times. We put the defense in a couple bad positions, and they still only had given up 17 touchdowns coming into this game. So still will give you that respect, and I will give you credit. In the Saints game, we fumbled twice in the first half. In the Jets game, I think we fumbled and threw some interceptions and shit. And in this game, we came out and we fumbled. Um, so that's true. That's true. All right. That's so I'll stop there. But you still got to play football. And the eye test still says if I see you running 5 yards off the ball where you could have made a play, I'm going to say something. So shout out to Jalen for making a crazy hit. He made like a bone jarring hit, and then right after that, LV did his thing. So I will give you guys your credit for that. But something got to give with our linebacking core. I don't know if it was the dude Uberus or whatever his name is that went to the Colts that kind of made you guys kind of start playing this way. But I don't know. We play like scat backers. Like I don't know. We were smaller back when I was young. We had Dexter Coakley, Dat Win, those dudes. The big dudes like Brady James, like a big guy to us. But we had small dudes back then, and they played bigger than we're playing right now. So it ain't size. It ain't that. They big as our guys are big. It's not know-how. It's not talent. It's really want to. It's want to, and it's not there. And I don't see it. They'll flash for a play or two. They will hit you, but they're not taking over games. They're just there, and that's real shit. They're not taking over games. They're there. Now that hit Jalen put out, like you could say that goes for something. Like that's the same effect I used to like with Roy Williams. Some hits change the tone and it changes the play calling because players, you don't want to keep getting your players killed. So you're not gonna keep running them in certain places. So there is merit to that. But I'm talking about assessing plays and just putting teams in positions where it's just like certain things coming into a game that you can't do, right? There's not that when it comes to Jalen and LVE. Like certain things you could do whatever you want. It's just they're gonna chase and tackle and maybe force a fumble, but they're not like, hey, on this play you throw the ball, Jalen's taking that, or LV taking that every time. No, it's like they if they're in the right position when the ball is in the way or in the air, they'll get their play here and there, but they're doing more chasing, whether it's covering or in pursuit. They're doing more chasing than assessing and disrupting. That's what you want your defense doing, disrupting. Robert Quinn, if you want to know what disruption looks like, Robert Quinn is a disruption on the left side of that offense. Period. You're going to change some things that you're doing because of the way he's rushing. D Law, even though he doesn't have the sacks, he's disruptive when it comes to the running game. And he's disruptive with anything you do, period. It doesn't matter where you are. You can throw the ball 20 yards up the field. D Law on that ass trying to fuck you up. That's disruptive. Collins, Malik Collins, he's been very disruptive. Very disruptive. Where if you don't pay attention to him, he has the best overall pass rush moves on this team. D Law got a few that he likes, but he's really just a high motor guy that knows how to pass rush a little bit. He's like a Bruce Smith guy. Like Bruce Smith got a lot of sacks. D Law can get a lot of sacks, but it's due to his want to and his tenacity, not due to pretty moves. Robert Quinn is what we wanted Randy Gregory to be, which is a quick twitch, bending guy that comes around the corner so fast that you can't really guard him. That's why he gets his sacks, because his get off is crazy. But as far as just straight up, I'm going swing move or do something bull rush quick, finesse, whatever, just a mixture of all kinds of moves. Collins got them all. Collins got them all. So we have some disruption up front. And I'd say Antoine Woods is a good one-trick pony. You know, he's good at stuffing two guys and finding the ball carrier. So I can give him that. You can't just get him out of there every play. You know what I mean? But and you said, Okoye, I'm ignoring super small ends. We don't have super small ends. No, Dorrance Armstrong is not little at all. He's like 270. D Law is a big end. He's like 270, 275. Bennett is a big end. So we have size at the end. That's not true. As starters, D Law is not little at all. And Robert Quinn, I mean, he little, but he don't play little. So I don't even understand why that would be a thing. And then we have 300 pounders in the middle of the field. It's just that they're not asked to anchor their gap. They're asked to stunt. And we're in our linebackers' jobs, because of the way they're stunting. They're asked to be athletic and able to run sideline to sideline to be able to, make up for those misses that some of those tackles are going to experience due to the fact they're jumping in and out of gaps all day. That's what's happening. Okay. Let me see if I can blow this up too, because I'm far away from my computer right now. And I'm definitely blind, motherfuckers. Okay, good. All right. Sorry about that. But anyway, let's move on, man. You guys know how I feel about our defense. Don't put that touchdown though. Don't put that shit on Wilson either. Donovan Wilson came in. They went right at him. He didn't give up the pass. He just mistimed the angle on that. It wasn't like he was guarding that guy. But everybody came in like start tweeting about Donovan Wilson. I'm like, for what? He ain't do shit. But anyway, um, let's get on to Zeke, right? And I'm gonna squash this real quick because Brian Baldinger, Skip Bayless, these guys get up and they speak. And now I'm for sure, just like I was with Dez, I'm for sure that they speak to make fanatics out of you and make fools out of you people. And I say you people disrespectfully. Why? Because you people got Google and you people listen to bullshit and don't even go check you could check numbers and be like, the only stat that they threw out there when they was making this Zeke conversation, the only stat they threw out was he doesn't have but one run over 20 yards. You know why they threw that stat out? Because that's the only one that actually made any fucking sense. The rest of the stats, if I threw these out, you'd be like, wow, why are we even having this conversation? Okay. Does Zeke has less yards through 10 games than he did this time last year? Yep. You know how many yards though? Zeke had 833 yards at the end of the Detroit game, right? He had 945 yards at this time last year. He's off by 112 yards, and we're like, Zeke is just different. And we're blocking like pussies, and he's still doing it. But that's crazy to me. His total yards, he's off by 233 total offensive yards, meaning when you add his passes this year, he had 1,286 yards total this at this point last year, right? And he has 1,053 now total. Okay, he's off by 233. But you know who has 238 yards? Tony Pollard. That's fucking dumb. Was he sharing carries last year with anybody at all? No. That don't make no sense, man. Now that's one. How many fumbles did he have last year at this time? Four. Four fumbles. He got two right now, right? And how many touchdowns? He has seven total. He has eight now. And Tony Pollard has two, and he has about 370, 380 total yards and two touchdowns. So Tony Pollard is definitely getting some production. And in two games of those games, right? Of those first 10 games, Tony Pollard had 13 carries twice this year. Twice. Right? So has Zeke ever given up 13 carries to anyone? Has he ever given up any carries to anyone? No. He's sharing the load and is only off by that much. And he fell off a cliff. And then beyond that, how many 100-yard games did Zeke have in the first 10 games last year? 5. How many does he have in the first 10 games this year? 5. 5 100-yard games last year. 5 100-yard games this year. Off by 112, right? But Zeke has fallen off a fucking cliff. What the fuck do y'all be talking about, man? Like, for real. That don't make sense. If somebody if you call yourself a fan of me, right? If I'm a fan, like you see, I still got my 88 on, right? If I'm a fan, I'm a fan. I'm not a fan until somebody says something that I should, that I agree with, maybe even a little, right? Without going to look at it. If you're a fan of somebody, shouldn't you go look into what someone says negatively about them? You're supposed to guard my ghost. You're supposed to guard my absence. You're not supposed to join in the dumb shit without checking it and saying, hey, wait a minute. You a fan. How the fuck don't you know this? And Google is free, so there's no excuses. So I'm going to be as ignorant as I want because Google is out here. So for those of you who will spend the time to either comment on my comments, comment on forums, you will make a whole post on forums. Baldinger will go and make a whole video using dumbass blocking footage. Like that was like for him to be a professional breakdown analyst. That was some idiotic shit. Like some of the plays that he broke down, I actually broke down, and I'm like, where the fuck do you see a running lane here, buddy? Like, what are you talking about? But even if you did disagree with what Zeke should have done on Madden or Tecmo, I don't know if it's Tecmo Bowl rules or Madden rules. If it was Tecmo Bowl, Zeke should have been getting some yards on those plays. But if we talking about Madden, you couldn't do that on Madden. You can't even do it in fantasy with somebody when the defense is playing more on your side of the ball and you still getting fucking yards out of it. That you should get a medal. But anyway, when you look at that, right, and you look at the fact that fans really jumped on this narrative and really keep riding it out, it's no wonder why the Cowboys have bad luck because we have bad fans. I respect all the fans who support forums like this because if you support a forum like this and you support Law Nation, you support guys who are out here like Vach and Foots and Tyson, even Mark Holmes, right? All of us, Shango. If you support guys like that, means you're looking for truth. So I'm not talking really to much of you. But if this gets to any other Cowboys fans, you already know what it is. Because if you on here, I'm pretty sure you want to know. Some of y'all argue with me, but y'all arguments be like, y'all really believe what you're saying. So I can respect that. Or you coming with something that's rooted like True Gooner, always arguing. Kenneth Lott, I fucks with you, bro. I fucks with you heavy. You know why? Because you told me in the beginning of the season, I kept it because I said you crazy as shit and I'm gonna rub it in your face. But it looked like you're gonna be rubbing some shit in mine because you said, hey, Dak gonna have 4,500 yards and he gonna have an MVP year. I said, yo, bro, I'm not saying Dak not gonna get better. I said this in the offseason. He was talking to me. I said, I'm not saying he's not gonna get better. Not saying that. But I'm saying nobody gets better in all those categories at the same time in 1 year, bro. I said, come on, man. It's not happening. But it's fucking happening. So all I'm gonna say, Kenneth Lott, whoever you are, I don't know what your religion is. I don't know what you do, bro. But say whatever you say about Dak. Say some nice shit about me too, because you spoke this shit into real existence. Because It's nobody else. I don't think it was anybody else other than Dak brothers who thought he was going to do the shit he doing right now. Because I know I didn't, and a lot of y'all like him, yeah. But to think that he was going to just be number one in all these categories, fuck no. I don't agree. No agree. So anyway, some of you guys make sense, but that narrative doesn't make any sense at all. Zeke is off by 233 total yards, and he's sharing the ball with Pollard. And on top of the fact that he's sharing the ball with Pollard, Dak is playing out of control. He's playing bananas. So if we have a drive where we get like on the three touchdowns that Dak threw, is there any room for Zeke to get a touchdown? Is there any room for Zeke to get yardage on play on and before Dak wasn't throwing those passes or before we were running the ball all day long. He has less carries too. I didn't even mention that, but we were running the ball all day long because that's the only thing we had. Dak was doing putting up 180 yards a game. He wasn't putting up 400 yards a game, and Zeke's still on pace to being number one or top five in the league. How do you have both and still be bitching? Man, what up, Law? Salute, brother. Yeah, man. This shit crazy, bro. This shit crazy, man. I don't know if you heard, but look at Zeke's stats this year, man. Just look at him through 10 games. And then I know you'll come to the light. And look at Tony Pollard's too. And then look at Dax, because Dax count. Because all those yards, those extra yards that Dak has that now, he's almost at where he was at the end of the year last year. He had like 3,200 yards right now, right? Right now, 10 games in. He had like 38 total last year. Come on, man. Come on, man. So with Dak playing the way he's playing, all those extra yards means the for Zeke to eat, he got to get it in less, or we got to get the ball back to him so he get more opportunities. Because if a receiver scores, we had 40-yard touchdown plays and shit like that, right? So if a receivers is jumping up, going up the field, up and down the field all day long, Zeke don't gotta run up and down the field all day long. So in games that we won, Zeke had, 5 yards a carry, but he was getting 12 carries, 11 carries, shit like that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah, we're gonna do a round table. Yeah, teams want us to be pass happy. You already know that, Law. I mean that goes without saying. Shout out to Deonta Centers. He said need more pulling guards, not just screens. Yeah, we need to go after defenses. Antoine Myers. Okoye, help me with the haters, please. What you need help with, man? You already know. Text me, man. You crazy. Uh you said Paolo looking like a savage. Yeah, yeah. Rue said that. Yeah, make sure y'all hitting that like button though, man. But don't worry. It's definitely not a what's up, Nene. I'm just going in to see who's up here because I've been talking for so long. I haven't even paid y'all no mind, man. But something is wrong. There's something wrong. Oh, let me look and see who else out there. What's up, Tarek? Let's get it. Kenneth said he on his way to 5,000. Man, just say I'm on my way to my first million. Just say that, Kenneth, because you say some shit. Say that. Let me see. Football philosopher. Last two games, 36 carries, 92 yards. You know how many? Since you're a philosopher and you're a football philosopher, and I'm coming to you because I know you. I remember you from my comments. You one of them, right? Um, Go and look at Dak's stats, not Dak's, Zeke's stats last year, year before that, even his rookie year, and tell me did he have any stretches where he didn't put up yardage? I know Denver stuffed us. I think his second year for damn near nothing, and a couple other teams too to do it. It's teams that stop Zeke. Zeke's not going to get 100 yards every game. Backs don't go for 2,000 yards a season every season, and he doesn't have to put up more yards than he did last year to still be good. When you have two backs, like I said in the other argument, is Alvin Kamara a bum because he has less yards than Zeke? No, he doesn't. He's not asked to put on the same workload. And I for one, I thought that when we paid Zeke and we brought Pollard in, that Zeke shouldn't get the same workload and that he wouldn't have the same stats. Why? Because why should he have the same stats if we have another back that's brought in to spell him so that we can protect the merchandise? Because as soon as he gets hurt because he's trying to impress you, right? Then you're gonna say, "Oh, see, I knew that 50 million guarantee was a waste. He blew his knee out." This fan base is crazy. Y'all crazy, man. They crazy. I don't get it. You said that what's up, Twan? You said did Thompson look lost at times? Of course. I thought the entire defense, I think what the entire defense does, maybe because we're playing short weeks or what, it's easy if you know exactly what the plays are going to be called and what formations you're going to be in all week, because you're only doing four of them. Like this is remember the Titans. It's easy to kind of know your assignment because nobody has to do anything other than chase who's in your zone, chase who's in front of you, or tackle the ball. That's it. Like this defense is simplified. It's simplified, and it might be because we're young. I don't know. Yeah, we taking advantage of yeah, Law. You're right. Yeah, we taking advantage of singles up on the outside, but that's been that way since Dak been here. That's not new. It's not new. It's been singled up on the outside because when you got eight in the box, you damn sure ain't got people on the outside. So this ain't new news. That's what's always been. It's just that Dak is now allowed to either audible or he's able to recognize mismatches and take advantage of them and exploit them. He wasn't exploiting them before, but the looks are the same. It's just you can't get away with the same looks no more. That's all. He changed. You said not too straight and not this many football philosopher. Bro, he had 5 100-yard games last year in his first 10 games. He got 5 now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right. Like you tripping. You are. You just gotta let go of that argument though. You gotta let it go, bro. Is Zeke still, as fast as he was his rookie year? Maybe not. I'm not ever gonna say he is. Can he still outrun a safety in the corner? Yep. Yep. He's still explosive enough to do that. So I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. Even on that joint right before the touchdown, you saw that run right before the touchdown. You see how many people he ran over, right? The one we thought he scored on. Like you see how many people he ran? He ran over like 5 people. Why should he have to run over 5 people? Pray tell. And if he didn't have to run over 5, let's say it was 4, let's say it was 3, like, would he have scored? Yeah. So I don't know, man. Exactly, Law. You're right. That's the value of him. Even if he not getting it. So if Kobe put up 20 points and 10 assists, he a bum because he ain't scored 80. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, the fact that he can score 80 and the attention that Kobe is gonna get because he can score 80 is gonna open it up for everybody else every other game, right? So him doing that every once in a while makes it so that people gotta respect us on a different level. That's what you're saying, Law. And I agree with you 100%. He said after Pollard scorched. Man, football philosopher said, "Oh, you said you don't think Zeke is a bum." Oh, all right. I was about to say, I thought you said he's a bum. Ah, glad you ain't say that, man. I ain't want to have to get you because this was just facts here. I was gonna get you though. You did that. I was like, no, don't do that because that's just not right. Don't make sense. But yeah, overall, man, offensively, like what we see. I like what we've been putting out there. Um, Suafilo, I didn't watch enough film to know if he was a difference maker this game yet. I will watch the film today once the coach's film comes out, or if it's not released already. I will watch it today though, and I'll tell you what my thoughts on Suafilo and that addition is. But overall, I think we got what we need, man. I think we just need to shore up some defense. That's all, man. And that's why I'm hype on the defense, not because I think we're playing bad. It's because we're playing, yeah, but we could be way better without doing anything. We don't got to cut anybody to get better. We don't got to bring in a new safety to get better. All we got to do to get better is, all right, listen, if you know that they're trying to get the ball out quick because you're blitzing them, you know the ball's coming out quick because they're blitzing. You're blitzing. Reroute somebody. Why? Because if he ain't there, and if I'm choosing who your hot route goes to by pressing guys at the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball that we know you want to throw hot to, I'm taking your security blanket away from you. You can't throw hot there. Now you got to make another decision. We play like that, but we do it like once or twice a year. When we play guys like Drew Brees, when we played Aaron Rodgers, we switched things up on him. In that Packers game, we did a lot of switching up. We still played off coverage though, but we just gave him a lot of different looks because you're not going to just keep giving him the same thing because he's going to bust your ass. You can't keep playing zone either. You got to switch it up. So we do that in those games. Other than that, we play this very, very basic style of cover three. It's not even the Seattle Seahawks style because you've never seen Richard Sherman playing 15 yards off the ball repeatedly like you see Cheeto. And it's not because Cheeto doesn't know how to press. That's not why. It's not because he's not aggressive. It's not because he's not strong enough. Some dude tried to give me the argument. I think it was you, football philosopher, that Cheeto has. He said 98% of the the corners in the league got longer arms than Cheeto. That's what his problem is. What the fuck are you talking about? You measure 98. You measure all of the corners in the league, and Cheeto got nubs for arms. That's his problem. Come on, man. Y'all just be making shit up. Are you a Cowboys fan? If you're not, then it makes sense. If you are, though, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, why would that be your defense or your attack under the Cheeto video? I mean, you got that much time where you like, look, man, I'm not going to come at him for some shit that I don't like a missed tackle here or no interception. Some shit that I can understand a fan being mad about because you're a fan. You want him to get those, right? Like, I want Dak to get touchdowns. I'm not coming at him because I don't want him to get touchdowns. If you say that Cheeto just got short arms, that's his problem. What? What? Like, really? What? Ah, man, that's crazy, man. You are crazy. I love my fans though. I love people who watch this, man. So I'm not gonna come at you too crazy because you do watch, but I don't know what you're watching, man. You gotta like, you gotta switch things up, man. Cause that's crazy. Cause yeah, they just saying, like I said, Cheeto's arms too short. But anyway, his arms ain't too short to box with God, man. He can get there. It's really the lack of aggression on our part. There's no play where you say, oh damn, I didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? Except for hits every once in a while, and we set up to hit people because we force everybody to throw underneath. So we should be like the way we think we hit. We have more opportunities to hit people clean and hard than most teams because we're playing off. So we get a running start on everybody and everything. We should have way more, as many people getting free passes underneath from us, right in front of the quarterback. If you look right above the center, we always give that up as a check down almost every play because we have both linebackers playing like surfer. They surf until they see a wide receiver cross their face. And if they cross their face, they run with them. So they see him cross. So they surf, they look at the run, they playing half body at the run and looking in the backfield, surfing backwards. And as soon as they see one cross, they engage and they go. And they chase them out to the perimeter. Almost every time. That's what we do every fucking play. So if you know your linebackers are going to start doing this, you know there's going to be a check down right here where my star is at. Every time. Every time. And you're also going to have a check down or something underneath, under Cheeto every time. When you see passes thrown at Byron Jones, that means they had time or the pocket was broken. If you see passes thrown deep in the middle of the field, that means we were in cover three. If you see passes thrown underneath on either outside, we were usually in cover two because we playing so fucking far off. We make it so that you can't really get an opportunity to throw the ball deep. You can't because we're coming like wild. And the fact that we even have sacks, and we got a lot of pressures. We at the top of the league in pressures, but not in the top of the league in sacks. And that's because you can get rid of the ball. You can get rid of the ball. There's somebody to throw the ball to when we on our job when it comes to these pass rush. We do miss some tackles, but you can get rid of the ball somewhere almost guaranteed every time. And why wouldn't it be if you're forcing? I would imagine Cheeto would have way more interceptions because if if you're forcing someone to throw a hot read underneath a guy. And you know that every play, if you bring pressure, they are throwing to that spot because that's obviously open before the play starts. That's where they're going to look first. Why wouldn't everybody just be converging on that area every time? Like I would just be jumping shit over there all day because I know you got to throw it here because you can't throw it to Byron side. We got help over there, and you crazy if you throw it over there. You a quarterback is crazy to be getting blitz and turn into two press. We press on the back and we press in the slot or we play trail technique where we right up on the line. So Jordan right there, you're not throwing that quick and you're not throwing it to Byron quick because you got to wait for your man to get off the line and get that release going. You're not turning into that and throwing when we're blitzing or bringing pressure. You're not doing that. You either going to scramble to get to that or you're going to throw something front side. If we know that, if you know that coming into the game, that the way we're set up, they have to throw the ball in these three places consistently to drive up the field. And these are the spots that we're chasing and tackling. Then why aren't we getting interceptions out of that? I don't understand. All right, let me read what y'all saying to each other because I know y'all going off. Yeah, he popped boy ass one time for sure. Yep, I agree with you, Law. I think Cheeto should be a roaming DB. Put him a little bit at safety, strong safety, yeah, because he gets through the mess like Sean Lee and those guys. He's not a guy that always takes on a blocker and pushes him out the way. He'll skate and ski under him, but either way, he gets there and he'll get through a mess and make some plays. So that's dope. I agree with you, Law. Let's see what else we got here. JD, you said you agree with Law too. He said money backer. Yeah, he could. What's up, Eddie? My dog going crazy out there. I'm gonna have to go tell him to shut up in a second, but we about to wrap up in a second anyway. But like I said, I'm working on. I'll tell you guys what I'm working on. I see you guys in there having like all kinds of discussions. Too much stuff to follow, but I appreciate y'all jumping on in the middle of the day. And what you guys can expect is one an assessment of the defense overall. That's what I'm setting up now. I already have footage of Josh Jones. I have footage of Byron Jones. Most of the secondary that I'm cutting up right now. So I'll finish that up, and then I also been working on the defensive line. I have all their footage too, so I just have to finish cutting it up, putting the voiceovers over it. But I'll start putting those out in like 2 a day spans, spurts, the rest of this week. As far as the Patriots, now we got the Patriots coming. Watch how we play against the Patriots. We either gonna come out and think we better than we are, which I don't think is gonna happen. Are we gonna play some inspired football, which I do believe we will do, right? Now it's either gonna be a close ass game. It's gonna be a good one, but it's either gonna be a close ass game or it's gonna be a win on our part. Now that would make everybody extremely happy and it would be impressive to some of you, right? It won't be impressive to me, and it won't make me happy because I feel like we need to be playing at a consistent rate all year round. I think we played down to Detroit's level, and Detroit almost beat us because of it. And it's okay when it happens versus the Jets. It's okay when it happens versus the Packers. It's okay when it happens versus the Saints. You try hard in those games. The Jets, it's like, okay, you turn the ball over. Yeah, Sam Darnold was on his first game back. It was a different quarterback. But you don't get those excuses when it keeps happening because those games should have woke you up to the fact that you gotta come ready to play no matter who you lining up against in this league. Period. When I train a fighter, I don't care if that fighter is fighting his mom, bro. You better put your hands up, protect your face. Don't take free punches because the human head only weigh 8 pounds. It ain't that hard. Anybody can knock the shit out of 8 pounds, 12 pounds max, unless you're a real big joker. So we shouldn't be coming into games surprised that a team is coming to play. Driscoll, who cares? They talking about it like this dude did some great shit. Like we come into games and we like, all right, we should beat these guys because we game plan the same way we play. We rely on our athleticism, like the tortoise and the fucking hare. The hare was running fast as fuck because he athletic. He can chill. That's how we play. We chill because we know we athletic. We know we're stronger. We feel we're better. So we chill. The tortoise though work hard. You gotta work hard, man. We not out there working. You can't tell me we out there working because the same glaring weaknesses that we had on film, some of them last year, we still got. So what you do to switch that up? And I'm not just talking about personnel. I'm talking about like schematically too. What are you doing to switch up? Like, but we show that we're able to do it. Like last season, did it not piss you off that Chris Richard knows enough to throw Jordan Lewis in to guard Alvin Kamara and looks like a genius doing it? And you say, hey, Jordan Lewis can play. They know that because they put him on fucking Alvin Kamara. So they know he can play. So then you got to ask the question, man, since you're a football philosopher, then we got to ask the question, why? Why would you not have him in the game? If you would bring him in to stop one of the most dangerous guys you're going to see all year, that means you know he's dangerous and you know he's good enough to play someone that dangerous. You trust him with that responsibility, but you don't trust him to fucking play the rest of the season. That's stupid. That's just dumb mismanagement, man. We do that all the time with everybody. Cheeto, if when go watch Cheeto college highlights, go watch his film from college. Just watch it. It will piss you off because you don't even know who. I'm like, I don't even know that guy. I don't know that dude. I don't know him. That dude is high flying, flipping off of shit, hitting everything moving. at the line of scrimmage though. He was like a linebacker, but he could play corner. It was just he's like fucking Peppers. But Peppers played more safety, but Cheeto played more nickel. He was a safety that was really a nickel safety that would guard you as a corner. Really, that's what he was. Now he could play on the outside too because Cheeto got wheels, but he's more physical than most corners. He really does take on blocks. Like most corners will chop a block out and they're just out of the play. They're not getting there. They just knock that lineman out the way by cutting his legs out. And if you happen to be behind that lineman, then they're gonna knock you down. Cheeto will take on that same blocker high, tight ends too. He'll take him up high, push off of him, disengage, and make a tackle. Corners don't usually do that. Corners usually get driven out in the middle of nowhere when they take on linemen. Cheeto does it on numerous occasions. He does it better than some of our linebackers. Won't name no names. But that to me is a gross mismanagement of talent. Period. Um, So Rashard gets some of that blame. Rod Marinelli gets that blame as well. And I feel like if you know that something isn't working and you still keep trying to make it work just because you feel like it should, I want my guys tall. You sound crazy. It's like when you have, and I'm not disrespecting the ladies out there, but when you have a girlfriend who says, "I root," why you be like, "Why are you rooting for the Eagles, man?" Because I like their colors. You're like, get the fuck out of here. See what I'm saying? It's like that. You like players because they're taller, but not better. Like Jordan Lewis is better than Anthony Brown. He's not taller, but he is better. He's 5'10". You know who else was 5'10"? Earl Thomas, Brian Dawkins. Uh, True Font was only 5'11", but that's probably why you got rid of him. Um, Sean Springs. You can name a bunch of corners. Ty Law. I can keep going. Harris Jr. that plays in Denver is like 5'9". The Honey Badger is fucking 5'8", 5'7" and a half. So, Woods is 5'11". Corners don't all come 6'4", man. So I know you like that, and I have no problem with that. Like it. But just because Cheeto is 6 foot, okay, doesn't mean Cheeto should be out there over there. Cheeto should be in the slot because that's where he played in college. You know where Jordan Lewis played? Also in the slot. So I get some of that mixture. But Jordan can play anywhere. They call the nigga Velcro. Excuse my French. But they call him Velcro because he can cover. And that would eliminate the need to play so far off on that side of the field. You know why? Because Jordan Lewis is not afraid to get up in you and get up, pause, but get up, on you. Period. So, and that would free Cheeto up to come into the backfield and disrupt. We know Jordan Lewis ain't sacking shit. Now he might get a sack or two because he's fast off the edge, but that's not his forte. If you blitzing Jordan Lewis, you're wasting him. If you solely keeping Cheeto in coverage, you're wasting him. Switch him. That's real. That's real crazy. You said Sean Springs 6 foot. I thought Sean Springs just always struck me as a shorter dude. I don't know. I just thought he was like my height. I'm 5'10". You know what I mean? Maybe it's Napoleon complex. Who knows? But that bothers me. Rob Marinelli not really feeling comfortable with true one tech defensive tackles. I'm not saying you got to run them in your scheme all day, but you should definitely have one or two stashed away on your bench. I just agree with that. Everybody don't got a pass rush, man. He's a pass rushist. Like it's not the defensive lines version of a racist. Like you only want pass rushers. Everybody got a pass rush. Everybody don't got a pass rush. Some people are there to just be a wall, so that you can do your thing, man. And then on third down, go crazy. Bring in those dudes. Bring in those Cadillacs and those Porsches and let them run. Do your thing. Pin your ears back. But first, let's stop them on first down when you know they're running the ball. Let's do that. Let's do that. I know I'm on a rant and I can go all day. So for those of you who got shit to do like jobs and shit, you can do your thing. But I'm a finish. I'm gonna finish talking my shit. I'm sorry. I just feel like it today. Cause yesterday we won and I never had a win that was like so fucking gut wrenching. I was pissed off because I'm like, this shouldn't be this difficult against Detroit. And Bo Scarborough. Yeah, boy, looking like we made a mistake. Bo is Bo. He is who we thought he was. He's a fucking hammer. That's it. Shouldn't have no problem with that, man. Mm. Kenny Lott. Man, I know. I appreciate that, Ken. Yeah, Darrell Revis, 5'11". 5'11". So you telling me that inch is making make Lewis so unattractive? The inch, it's the inch. And you act like we don't got small receivers in this league. We got people. We got this. All the receivers ain't 6'3". So if it's that much of a problem, just say Jordan. When we playing tall guys, you play the short one or the fast guy. I don't fucking know, but it's a solution to that, ain't it? Like it's football, man. Come on. But so yeah, that bothered me. Joe Thomas. There's another one that bothers me. Okay, I like LVE. I do like LVE. I will say that once again. For those who don't believe it, I don't care. But um, is LVE the one of the top two linebackers on this team? I don't think so. I don't think he's better than Jalen, even though Jalen has a problem. And I don't think he's better than Sean Lee, but Sean Lee gets injured. So I understood the need to put someone consistent in when Sean Lee was injured. So never argued there. But I also don't think he's better than Joe Thomas either. I don't. I don't. After those three dudes, yeah, he exactly who he is. He's a guy who's developmental, who should be in there developmentally in certain packages where you need someone aggressive off the edge because when he comes forward, he does make a lot of noise as the Sam. Or you need someone to just flat out cover, but tell him who to cover and don't let him play off in space because he been getting cut the fuck up. Something crazy too this year. Uh-huh. That's just my thoughts. Linebackers, right? So when you go there, that's how I feel about them. I think we all have serviceable. We have four serviceable, five serviceable. I think Marshall Lillard is pretty good, and I even like the young dude, Gifford. Gifford was looking like that noise, right? So I don't know if LV is the top two backer on this team. I know he has the stats for it because he's in there, but should he be as much as he is at that position? I don't care what nobody say. Nope. Nope. Um, and then we get to safety. You ever seen a dude like you remember Victor Cruz? Remember that? Victor Cruz, I'm saying this for a reason. Victor Cruz against the Jets. I remember watching this game. It was a preseason game. He went moss on the Jets. He fucked them up in the Jets versus Giants preseason game. And then Victor Cruz became Victor Cruz because he balled in the preseason, right? So tell me, how is it that Donovan Wilson balls in the preseason? He got 3 interceptions in the preseason. He was doing all kinds of high flyer shit. I liked him. He was hitting shit. He just put it on tape and was playing better than all our safeties. I would say all of them. I like how he's playing. I like when I see a guy flash to the screen, even if they miss, and I have to say, who was that? Who was that dude that just flew past boy ankles? Who was that? When I gotta say that, that means you beaning on the ball, like you coming down, you flying. And Roy used to do that. I always bring Roy up because he used to do that. He made me pay attention to who was 31 because he hit the shit. 37 was that same way, flying all over the place, uh, intercepting passes and so on. He still got wheels. He been healthy because y'all been keeping him on kickoff coverage. So he been here. Why did you go get Josh Jones? Why did you go get Thomas or Thompson and say, hey, start over this guy? Why? Yeah, you can go get him, but why would they be starting over Donovan Wilson? Now, I don't watch him practice, so maybe he's an idiot in practice and just so happens to be Waterboy or Bobby Boucher, whichever one is the super one, in the game. Maybe that's it, but that don't make no fucking sense to me either. And the last thing I'm gonna say is, if you want Byron Jones to get interceptions, right? Maybe you should put him on the front side of this formation. He can play the same position you got Cheeto playing right now because he has experience as a safety. So if you want an off coverage guy that's asked to use his eyes and run and chase and tackle on the front side of your defense, why don't you put him over there or have him play off coverage sometimes and bait a quarterback into throwing at him? They don't do that. Why? Because they say press. Almost every play he's pressing. So quarterbacks ain't throwing the ball at Byron because it's not worth. He is very good at press. He's real good at it. And if you got a pass rush like we do, which is getting pressure, Quarterbacks ain't wasting their time throwing over there when they know it's gonna take you a second, bruh, to get off of that dude. And I can't jump ball you because he can jump. So what you gonna do? So if you want him to get interceptions, put him in position to get interceptions. He's not in position to get interceptions, just playing the same way, same coverage every time. Even when you look at dudes like Ramsey, Ramsey can play press all day if he wanted to. He'll play off. Why? Because he wants you to think you can get something so he can jump it. We don't do that. We just say, look, man, play it safe. Everybody play it safe in this defense. And we play it safe to a bend and break, a bend but don't break style of play, which is untested because when it's time to really play and you got to really make a play, we can't because when it's time to just say, hey, look, man, we're going to use your talent. You're going to take this dude out for me. I'm asking you to do that. We don't do that. We play so much. I never thought that too much team football would be a bad thing, but in that case, it is. Where you're relying on the overall rallying spirit and the pursuit of the defense more so than the individual skills that each one of these guys possess, and you're not putting them in position to even be able to exploit anything. It's nothing there. Yeah, but it's been but don't break. Because when we play the Patriots, you're not gonna get away with just Manila bullshit, and you know it. Which is why when we play the Saints or the Patriots or the Green Bay Packers, we come out and play different. But when you playing in a way that you haven't played all year, the room for error goes up. So when you have guys that get beat in those big games, and you say, "Oh, he's a bum." Well, how often has he had the opportunity to be asked to do that level of work this season? When you say, "Oh, Jordan Lewis got thrown in against the Saints last year," right? How often was he given an opportunity to show what he had last season? But he did it. Just so happened, but not because you prepared him for it. See what I'm saying? This team, from the top down, our coaches from that respect, they're relying too heavily on, like I said, playing it safe, and too heavily on the fact that they feel that Zeke can run through anything and the offense can score on anybody, right? So we play this bend but don't, and bend but don't break is not a foreign thing to the NFL. If you get in turnovers, if you get in turnovers, then hey, and you playing off and you saying, listen, I'd rather this quarterback have to throw at us 10 times or 25 times or 50 times a game because we're going to get XYZ opportunity out of it. Okay. Yeah, you giving up those yards underneath because eventually, your guys are going to jump something and it's going to be, a wrap for the bullshit. The fly don't want to fuck with me now. Then that would make sense. Then that's cool. You know what I mean? That's not what's happening, man. All right. Let's see. You said, what do I think about defenses not being able to pick up on screens? We could pick up on screens. I just explained it earlier if you didn't listen on earlier, but we playing off. So it's not the fact that we don't recognize that it's screen. I don't think the defensive line is asked to recognize that it's screen because if they're in the middle of a stunt, it's important to the integrity of the stunt. The stunt is like a blitz. If I don't do my part of that stunt, then it's guaranteed that my teammate not gonna make it there. He's not gonna get there. So if Collins don't crash down on the center and the guard like he's supposed to, then Woods can't come around him, or vice versa. If D Law doesn't come into crash into the B gap, Collins can't come back around into the C and come around. You can't. So when you're stunting, you're not really abandoning your assignment as much to go chase a running back because he could or he could not be screen passing. You don't know what he's doing. And when you stunting and your job is to disengage from linemen, you don't feel the lineman because you trying to run away from them anyway. You're not trying to get through him with a pass rush. You're trying to get onto an angle that gets you around him, right? So you don't feel that the block was light because he's trying to go around the screen. So you can't then read it. If I'm trying to out physical you and I feel no resistance and then you run by me, I don't have to see the ball. I know he up to some shit because he ain't even block me. Or they either hate you, the quarterback, or they up to something back there. So I'm gonna turn around and handle that. See, but when you are already stunting anyway, you don't feel it. You don't care if you don't feel the lineman because you ran away from him. You ran away from him because your guy crashed into them. And if you crash into one and they move, you trying to get yourself a sack. You're not turning around and handling that. So the way we stunt, we're going to run past screens no matter what, because you don't feel the main way you assess a screen easily anyway is if you notice that the linemen are not doing what they usually do, which is blocking you. They ain't blocking me. They either trying to scheme on one of my teammates to double him and let me run free like a RPO, or it's a screen. or hitch, some shit like that. Short pass. So there's no way we're going to get better at that if we are playing the scheme that we're playing. All we can hope for is that our linebackers recognize it fast enough and crash down on those screens and then shore up those tackles because we're not going to switch our scheme in the middle of the season. Not going to happen. All right. I think I'm done. I got it all out, man. All right. So for those of you who jumped on in the middle of the day, I appreciate it. Those of you still on who haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Hold on 1 second, actually, before you guys go. Uh, Make sure you guys in the description, I'll put it out there, but make sure you guys check out Mybookie. They sent out a bunch of gear. I'm about to start sending it out or giving it out to you guys because I don't want my kitchen and living room full of it. But check out Mybookie. They definitely been supporting the kid and doing their thing. So mybookie.ag, you'll find it in the description of this video. When I'm finished, I don't know if it's up there right this second, but I'll put it there in a second if it's not. Either way, though, appreciate you guys jumping on. I'll get back to my breakdowns. And we got the Patriots coming this week. I think we can handle the Patriots. I really do. Believe it or not, we play very well against quarterbacks that allow us to rush to a spot. And Brady's one of those guys where we can get to a spot. He's not very mobile in the pocket. And if we just do one thing, which is crowd the line of scrimmage a little bit more and make it so that those quick reads, those quick hot reads, aren't there as often, or we alternate that, I think we can disrupt Brady. But let's see it. Let's see it. Appreciate y'all jumping on, man. I'm out of here.